There's evidence that the president at one point was office mates with Hunter and his brother Jim here in D.C.
It's not accurate. So
when Hunter Biden is emailing a landlord, please have keys made available for new office mates, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, Jim Biden, that you're disputing.
They were not office mates.
That was White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki yesterday denying reports from December 2020, which say that Hunter Biden shared office space with his father. They all had keys to this office in D.C. also, as legal experts are now calling for President Biden's corporate tax returns. The president and the first lady reporting an income of more than $13 million between 2017 and 2019. Kelly Jane, we know that Hunter Biden was paying the family bills. We have those documented already, that Hunter Biden was paying Joe's construction bills, among other bills. He also emailed his daughter saying, complaining about all the bills that he had to take. What's your take on this story right now?
This is shady as heck, Maria. But I'm glad that we're finally seeing more reporting of this in the rest of the media. As you know, of course, the New York Post in October 2020 revealed a lot of the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop that showed that Joe Biden had met with business associates of Hunter Biden's. Now, we were called Russian disinformation for that. Facebook and Twitter suppressed the story, and the fact that the New York Times, for example, and the Washington Post now admit our reporting was true and accurate, I think it's clear that Hunter and Joe are in big trouble. They would only admit their mistake because they know that something bigger is coming that they're not going to be able to avoid. And we know that a grand jury has been looking into Hunter Biden's activities and asked one of the witnesses, was Joe the big guy who Hunter had listed as having a 10% share in a company that Hunter had with a Chinese executive tied to the Communist Party of China? Where to begin, Maria? There's just so much. As you saw the New York Post cover, we've got a dozen instances of Joe being involved in Hunter's business dealings. And of course, Joe Biden's denied that, and Jen Psaki's denied that, and it's clearly untrue. So anything Jen Psaki says, I'd have to take that with a lot of salt.
Yeah, we had Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson on Sunday. And, Ron Johnson is talking about all of the documents that he was able to confirm in his Senate report, along with Chuck Grassley. And he revealed that they have documented at least $13 million, which the Biden family took in from Chinese officials, Ukrainian officials. Now, Peter Schweitzer has reported that the Biden family took in $31 million from just Chinese officials. That's not even including Ukraine and Kazakh, where he's also apparently reportedly taken money. So, Kelly Jane, are we going to get confirmation on this? Now we see that, Biden is being asked for his corporate tax returns. I know justice takes a long time to play out, but what are your thoughts on timing here in terms of when we can get confirmation to all of this?
Yeah, justice, the wheels of justice do turn slowly, but they turn. Of course, if people had paid attention to this story when the Post first reported it, Joe Biden might not be president right now. And of course, that's why the media suppressed the story, is it looks terrible for Joe Biden. But yeah, when you have a grand jury involved, they can request documents, they can subpoena documents. I think we are going to get to the bottom of this. It just, if only we had people looking into this before the election rather than after the election.